Hello, it's Neil from Clever Property Investing, and how are you at the moment? We're in this middle period between the Christmas and the New Year, and it's a bit of a kind of a situation where some of you may be feeling a little bit all heavy, all the eating and drinking you've been doing. Some of you have been a bit fed up of staying indoors all day. The weather's not been brilliant. Some of you may have been wanting to get on and do things and move out and move forward. Well, what I'm going to talk about today is something I do every single year, and that is look at what I'm going to plan for next year. Now, everybody in the news and everybody is normally in the pubs and things on Christmas, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, are going to start talking about New Year's resolutions, aren't they? New Year's resolutions. Well, New Year's resolutions are just something you might say out in the pub. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to read more books. I'm going to learn a language. I'm going to do more fitness, those kind of things. I'm going to find my long loved partner. Well, that's great. New Year's resolutions are brilliant to say that, and probably a very small percentage of people actually achieve what they say they're going to do in a New Year's resolution. The larger proportion of people that achieve are turning those people that turn those New Year's resolutions into goals and objectives. And how do we do that? Well, we put it down in writing. We commit to it. We turn it into a proper plan. We set targets for ourselves. We make it measurable so we can make sure we can achieve certain things. We work out what's going to stop us along the way. All these kind of things, we commit to a plan. And as I said, it's something that I do every year around this time of year. And I'm going to go away today for 3 or 4 days, just to a little quiet place on my own. And I'm going to do 2 things. One of those things is I'm going to review all the goals and objectives I set for myself last year, see how I've done, see what's moved forward, what I've managed to achieve, what I haven't managed to achieve, what I need to work harder on. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to set my own goals and objectives in those areas that I want to improve next year or to achieve. The things like the work. What am I going to do work-wise? What am I going to do fitness-wise? What am I going to do health-wise? What am I going to do for me? I always try and book something every year to do self-development, some kind of self-development. And I'm going to put all that down in a diary as well. I have a amazing diary that I use. Now, I've tried lots of different diaries over the years. There are quite a few out there, and I've tried them I don't think I've tried them all, but I've tried a lot of them. There's one by The Secret. There's one, a leadership diary. There's quite a few out there, but the one I like the most at the moment is my Passion Planner, and that's from a company that are called Passion Planner, and they create a great little diary and journal that I use every single day and helps me move forward. Obviously, I've over the years tried everything different and I've tweaked it to make it better for me. You'll need to do the same, probably try something and then keep tweaking it until it works well for you if this is what you want to do. And statistics prove top achievers always have goals, always write them down, always make them the effort to take this time planning and move forward and take that time out every day, every week, every month to make sure you move forward. So as I said, I'm going away in a moment and I'm going to head to a place where I'm going to spend 3-4 days on my own, just with me, my thoughts, my planners, my revisions, my looking back on what I've done. And what I'll do is I will probably, if it's of interest to you, I will share a little bit of how I'm going to set the goals, maybe go through one of those goals with you, and then you can take away what you want from that and use it. If it's useful to you, brilliant, share it, tell other people. If not, then hopefully it's just giving you a little insight into what you can or can't use. Anyway, I'm off soon, so I'll be back on the video a little bit later on and I'll give you some indication. And I'm looking forward to taking away my Passion Planner and my vision board, which is something I haven't mentioned yet. Anyway, see you soon. I've arrived, here I am. Don't know if you could see that I've got everything on my table ready to go, all the stuff ready laid out, and I'm ready to start doing my review for the year and my goals and everything else that I need to do that I mentioned about. Now, I said I was going to give you a little bit of a hint on how to do the goals. I'm going to try and get that on my laptop, see if I can show you an example of what I do in a moment. Hey, it's Neil again. I finally managed to get my laptop working and screen sharing. So hopefully this is going to work. It's the first time I've done it. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Anyway, so I was talking about goals and I was talking about the kind of way that I plan it. Remember I said at the beginning that there are various areas that you might look at. I mean, this is something I did in 2022. So now that's going to be 23. And here are the sort of areas. I tend to have a sheet like this where I might put some goals in, or a goal that
I want to do. Actually, at this point, it's kind of unlimited. You can do whatever you want here, put as many as you like, and then choose the most important one later. So don't stop yourself. Don't think I've only got to have one. If you've got 3 or 4 things, put them in there, and later you can come back and review them and see which one you want to really work on. So here we've got, there's an idea of sections. This isn't limitless. You can have your own sections. You can add to it, take away, whatever you want. You don't have to have all of these sections. But here's what I might do. I might do a goal or write in the multiple things that I want to do in health and fitness for me. So my own personal health and fitness. Excuse me. I might want to go and do something along the lines of a certain amount of fitness or exercise each day. So I might want to do 20 to 30 minutes of exercise that's going to raise my heartbeat, which could be walking fast, it could be running, it could be playing sport, it could be any of those sort of things, but I would put that in there. Health-wise, I might say, well, what do I want to do healthy? Do I want to eat better? Do I want to eat a certain way? Do I want to perhaps cut out a certain part of types of food from my diet? For example, a little while ago, I did a whole session of cutting out crisps from my diet, so I didn't eat crisps on a regular basis. And that was one thing that I didn't really miss too much. So those kind of things I put in there. Spiritually, you might things like meditation. I might think I'm going to try and do 10 minutes meditation every day, every morning, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I might try just sitting quietly and do some mindfulness. Doesn't have to be meditation, just sitting and being aware. Some of those things I do spiritually wise, I may just involve that in part of my exercise. If I go for a run, I may also be in sort of a meditative mode and thinking through something like that. So those two may combine in some way, but basically something that gives you a spiritual feeling, a little bit of a lift. Personal development, I talked about previously. Personal development is something that I try and do every single year. I try and do something that's going to develop me, something I'm going to learn something new, a new skill, something I can use myself. And then when I've learned how to use it properly, teach others or show others how to use it, and then that might help me become a better coach, a better mentor, and I'm always looking to improve myself and to get better and better all the time. Social and fun, well, that's anything you want it to be. So socially, one of my goals or challenges or targets, whatever you want to do, call it, objectives, is to spend some family time every week with some member of my family, whether it's my daughter, my son, I'm now a grandfather, my grandchild, my partner, whoever it is, family, friends, sports occasions, whatever it is. And that's the sort of social side of things. Fun, again, that might be sport for me, or that might be, for me, I like going to the cinema. I like going to see the latest films, whatever's on there. What makes you smile? What makes you happy? Eating out is one of the things you could do. So loads of ideas there. I've got a section on property. Obviously, I'm a property investor. I'm a coach and a mentor teaching people how to invest in property. So property is also very much something I do on a regular basis. And so I might set a goal or a target for the property I want, what I want to do in property this year. For example, I might want to purchase a certain number of properties. I might want to look at a different type of strategy. I might want to review my portfolio and maybe sell some, put something into something else, maybe build my joint venturing business, maybe have more angels on board. Any of those kind of things I might put into my property section. I'll make a list of those. Financially, I might decide on how much income I want to generate this year, how much more income I want to generate this year. Do I want to generate an extra £1,000 a month? Do I want to generate a total amount per year? And not necessarily how I'm going to do that, but what is it I want to do? Do I want to have enough money to pay my mortgage every month? Do I want to have enough money to pay my bills each month? So that could be one buy-to-let property, for example, will cover my mortgage each month, or maybe 2 buy-to-let properties. Maybe another HMO might pay for all of my expenses for the month. And so this is kind of financially, what do I want to achieve financially? Other things you could definitely think about financially is having a little pot of money on the side that allows you, should everything go wrong and everything stop work related, whatever it is, say we go into COVID again and you don't get paid for a period of time, to have enough money in the bank to see you through that buffer. So that might be a 1 month or a 2 month or a 3 month, a 6 month or a year. How much money you've got in the bank that can sustain you should everything stop working. Because let's face it, if you had enough money in the bank for 6 months to survive, in 6 months' time, you're probably going to be the kind of person that's going to find something to generate some kind of income, whether you get a job, whether you do something else, whether you get involved in investing in different properties in a different way. You'll be able to do that. So that's one of the things I do look at every year. How much money would I have in it? Do I need in my pot to be safe and self-sufficient should everything go wrong? Relationships, you might have things in relationships you want to change. You might want to find that person that's going to be your long-term partner for the rest of your life. You may be with somebody you don't want to be with or you're not sure about. You may want to build more friendship groups. You may want to be involved in more things like that, doing groups with of like-minded people, maybe join networking groups, who knows. But relationships is that kind of thing. Hobbies, what hobbies do you like doing? Do you like, I mentioned going to the cinema, that could be a hobby as well as fun. Do you like crafting? Do you like making things? Do you like going out and helping others in certain ways? You know, there where I am right now is right by the seaside and the beach, and I've noticed there's people going on their volunteers or hobbies. They'll go and pick up litter because they want to make their place look better. Or people might just like reading. You know, reading is something that you might be, that could come with the spiritual as well. So some of these do overlap. Then you've got home. What do you want to do about your home? Do you want a new home? Do you want a better home? Do you want a bigger home? Do you want to improve your home? Do you want to extend on your home? Do you want to do things in your home that maybe you haven't had a chance to do? Perhaps you want to paint and decorate. Perhaps you want to, these are lovely little goals that you can achieve quite easily. And then there's a whole other section, anything else you might want to put in there. You know, you could be completely free in the others group. You could say, I want to have a car, a Maserati. I want to have a Ferrari. I want to take one person I know has one long holiday, a long haul holiday, and one short haul holiday every year. So the way they do it is they put a list, they make a list of all the places they'd like to see that are long haul, and they rip that up and on each piece of paper they put one name or one place, and then a list of short haul places like perhaps Spain or perhaps Gibraltar or those kind of things, and they do two pots with the bits of paper in them, and they pull out one each month and say, well, this one is where I want to go this month. And in actual fact, they do it once every quarter. So they will then definitely have 4 holidays a year. One will be the long haul, and then they might have 3 short hauls. You might just want to do 1 long haul and 1 short haul, and that's one thing you might want to do, sort of holidays. So that's just kind of like a little template I use. Fill it in and, you know, just express yourself, have fun with it, do it. Then once you've done that, and then you might take, what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. If you do 10, that's fine. If not, if you just want to do 5, that's absolutely fine by you. There are no rules here, remember. It's just about getting things committed to paper. Then when you take one of each of those, let's move that away, you then go to this document here, which is the goal planner itself. And in the goal planner itself, you might turn around and say, well, you know, I want to write the goal itself down, why I want to achieve that goal, the date I'm going to start and the date I'm going to finish, and the date you've done this. So for example, today is the 28th of December. I write 28th of December at the top, when I'm going to start, 1st of January, when I'm going to finish. It might be the 30th of December or 31st of December. It might be that I want to achieve this in 6 months and make me 30th of June. I would then create some milestones. So 3 points though. Let's have an example. What should we do? Let's say that I wanted to run a marathon. I want to run a marathon, and I know there's probably going to be more than 3 milestones, but I know there's going to be certain steps that I have to achieve to run that marathon. The finish date might be I'm running the marathon in summer, let's say, for example, or in September. So I know the date, the start and finish. I then know that at milestone 1, I would want to be starting to run regularly a certain amount. It might be I need to achieve a miles run every day, or every 2 or 3 days, and it might go to 2 miles, and it might go 4 miles. You should get a really good book or a plan or somebody to help you with this anyway. But those are the milestones, knowing what you're going to achieve, knowing how you're going to eat, rowing. You may have already run a marathon, and it may be something that you want to put a time scale on. For example, you might want to say how what's your time limit might be. Maybe last time you did a marathon you did it in 5 hours. Maybe this time you want to do it in, under 5 hours and things like that. So that's your kind of milestones. Your next steps. What are you going to do to achieve those steps? So what do I need to do to buy the marathon? I need to go and maybe get a book about running a marathon. I think Chris Evans is always talking about on his radio show about a book he's written, or his co-presenter has written a book as well. You might want to get that, and that might start to give you the ideas. Other steps might be I need to buy the right equipment. I might buy good trainers. I might to go to a proper trainer shop and get my feet measured and things like that. I need to get a good kit to run in, proper things. I might need to water bottle or something I've got to carry. I might need to work out, do I need a headband? Because if you're sweating a lot, do I want to get my eyes? All these kind of things. How am I going to get to the start of the marathon might be something I'm looking at. If it's a London marathon, there's a whole logistical challenge of how am I going to get there? How am I going to get back? What am I going to do afterwards? What things am I going to need? What support might I need along the way? Then you start looking at, again on those, the obstacles that I mentioned a few of them as transport. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get back? Am I fit enough? Am I fit enough to be able to do that? Do I feel I'm fit enough? Maybe I'm not. What am I going to have to do to get fitter? Do I need to start improving my diet? Is my diet the problem? Am I eating badly? Am I eating well? Am I not eating the right types of food to maybe, I need to understand that's an obstacle. I don't understand what I need to eat properly if I'm going to be running a marathon. Do I need to have, what's the obstacles are going to stop me from, like, weather? What if the weather's bad? Does that put me off? Of course it does. It puts me off a little bit. Maybe I don't want to do it when it's raining or it's hailstoning. So then I find the solutions to obstacles. So if it's raining, I've got to either say, well, I've got to get waterproofs or something that's going to help me feel better. I personally, if I'm running and I wear a baseball cap, it's psychologically, when it's raining, the water's not hitting my head, it's hitting the hat. I don't feel like it. So it doesn't feel so bad. I know it's raining, but it doesn't feel like it's raining as bad, especially as hard. So that's one of the things I might do. I've mentioned about getting books, getting the right equipment. So these are examples. And then I would write some affirmations to support my goal. An affirmation might be, every day I'm getting stronger and fitter, and I will achieve the marathon at London in 2023. And that might be enough for me. If I've done it before, it might be every day I'm getting stronger and fitter, and I'm going to achieve the marathon and complete the marathon in 2023 in London, and I'm going to do it in under 5 hours. Whatever that affirmation might be is something that you would do. And I would do this for every single goal that I chose, whether it's 1 goal, 5 goals, 10 goals, whatever it is, and I would commit this to paper. The affirmations would then become part of my everyday routine. The milestones and the steps would become part of my every weekly routine. What do I need to do to achieve those? So that's kind of a very brief insight as to what I would be doing when I'm setting up my goals and I'm getting ready to go. I hope this has been useful for you. I hope it's been something that would be, useful for you going forward. I'm sorry about the quality of the video. I am in quite a dark sort of lit room, but hopefully this has been useful for you. It's been Neil at Clever Property Investing, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.